new Kroger fee, how much it'll cost you to get cash back at the grocery chain, and how you can avoid the charge.
First, so here's what's coming up later this morning on the all-new Court TV on Channel 7.4.
I'm Vinny Politan. Today will be the biggest day by far in our coverage of Florida versus Grant Amato. He's been charged in the deaths of his mother, father, and brother, facing the death penalty. And today, Grant Amato expected to take the stand in his own defense, tell this jury his story, what happened inside that household, then face the cross-examination of prosecutors. We are live in Sanford, Florida, with the dramatic close of testimony in Florida versus Grant Amato.
Well, heads up if you shop at Kroger this morning.
Yeah, the grocery chain is now charging a fee for cash back at the checkout. A 50-cent service fee is now being applied for cash back options under $100. The fee for cash back options between $100 and $150 is now $1.50. Kroger says that the fees are due to banks raising ATM fees and other retailers limiting the amount of cash back available. The chain also sent out a tweet saying, "Our cash back program is designed to save our customers money versus the ATM fees, and it gives you a safer and more convenient way to get the cash you need. We apologize for any inconvenience."
But if you use your Kroger Plus card, they actually reduce that fee by 50 cents, so you can still get some cash without the fee.
All right, so know the fine print. 5:16. Hey, in your morning sports report, the Lions defensive line is working through some injuries.
Our Justin Rose breaks down what it means for the Lions training camp.
Lions training camp gets underway later today, but the play of the day yesterday in Allen Park, this one, Jelani Tavai picking off Matthew Stafford, the second-round pick, running, and Stafford actually tried to tackle him. Maybe lay off on that during training camp, Stafford. The defensive line is going to be one of the best in football when they get all healthy. A'Shawn Robinson back yesterday, but they're still without Trey Flowers, Deshaun Hand, and Snacks Harrison.
I think it's a great opportunity, for those guys that get that situation where they can jump in there and maybe be put up in the first group. Like I said to the team the other day, whatever your name is on the position chart, you have that opportunity to jump in there with everybody else, and you got to make the most of it.
We haven't gone against them yet, so I'm not really sure. I'm sure that they'll be great, but at this point in time, we're a little bit low on numbers. So we go out there and do what we're asked, and they're doing a great job. They're pushing through, being down in numbers, and I think that they're doing great for the situation they've been put in so far.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be back soon. The offense, meanwhile, likely playing catch-up to that defense. Marvin Jones Jr., Kenny Galladay, they're going to be the two top receivers for Detroit. Lower on the depth chart, though, Jermaine Kearse. He's making his mark in the receivers room. He spent 5 years in Darrell Bevell's offense while he was in Seattle, so while he's trying to earn a job here, he's also teaching. However, he hasn't quite had a duo of receivers as talented as Jones and Galladay before.
You look at his size and the speed, same with Marvin, all the other guys, just those combinations are just deadly out there. So it's cool to be able to go out there and watch and try to learn from them. And if I could help them with certain things, that's good for us too. We got a really good receiver group, and we push each other. I mean, we want to see each other succeed in there. We got a really good bond. I think that's the greatest thing about this receiver room is that our bond is really good, and we just try to push each other and make each other better.
And Major League Baseball's trade deadline today at 4 o'clock. The Tigers, meanwhile, still no moves as of yet. That is your sports update for this morning. Have yourself a great day. All right, right now it is 5:18. We're just over an hour away from the sun coming up, and it's in the mid-60s. Feels pretty nice outside right now. It's 65 degrees, and the wind is out of the north now, around 10 miles per hour, so it's a light wind, but because the winds are out of the north, it feels great right now. The humidity is down a bit, and we're going to have some cloud cover this morning and a mix of sun and clouds for most of the day today, but it's going to be a gradual decreasing cloud cover through the day, and the sun's going to be out here by later today. So this morning there's some clouds overhead, but there's no rain to show you on first look top of the radar. There's a couple of thunderstorms just north of Cleveland, but that's moving away. So we'll keep an eye on the radar because it's not totally out of the question that we get just a couple of sprinkles this morning. I think that's it though, nothing more than that, and otherwise just a mix of sun and clouds today and cooler today. today. Cooler weather because of the winds out of the north and northeast. And so highs are going to be around 80 degrees. That means most of the afternoon is going to be spent in the 70s. Right now it's 66 in Dearborn. Canton's about 63. Shelby Township 65. And highs pretty close to 80 degrees. Some areas like Brighton and Redford may stay in the upper 70s at 78, 79 degrees. And also around Farmington. But we're all in the low to mid 60s right now. Everybody's going to be near 80 this afternoon. So the futurecast is still showing a few spotty sprinkles through about noon, and then this afternoon it's going to be mostly sunny. High pressure moves in from the west, and that keeps us bright and sunny and dry with pretty calm winds tomorrow and through the day Friday. This is Friday at 4 p.m. You notice some rain across the UP staying north of us. That should continue to stay north through the day Saturday too. So we have dry weather for the rest of the week. 80 for the high today. 59 tonight. Clear, cool, comfortable weather tomorrow morning to start. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine and temperatures going to be climbing through the 70s. Highs near 80 degrees again tomorrow. 84 Friday, 85 Saturday, and the humidity is still at a comfortable level, I think, all the way through Friday and Saturday. It starts to creep up a little bit higher Sunday. On your 7-day forecast, you see the end of the weekend into the start of next week. Slight storm chance later Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. And then we have slight storm chances too Monday and Tuesday next week. But temperatures around the low to mid 80s all the way through. That's the first weekend of August.
All right. I tell you, summer's just flying by. Well, let's take a look outside one of our 7 first alert traffic cameras. This is I-94 west of 9 Mile. There are no issues to report outside here or on any other major roads this morning. We'll have another update of the drive for you, though, in 7 minutes or less.
Well, the 13th annual Arise Detroit Neighborhoods Day is this Saturday.
And so far, more than 200 organizations have already registered for community service projects, including Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. The insurance giant has committed close to 300 employees to help beautify and spruce up 16 Detroit public school buildings and take part in 6 other community service projects. But more volunteers are still needed to help clean up and remove blight in the city. If you're interested, you can sign up at the Arise Detroit website.
Time now, 5:21. Bindi Irwin is getting ready to walk down the aisle. How she'll be honoring her late father, Steve Irwin, on her big night.
But first, 2 bus drivers are being called heroes this morning. How they helped rescue lost children just hours apart in the same city. You're watching 7 Action News this morning.
In this morning's GMA First Look, hero bus drivers. New video of 2 Milwaukee bus drivers rescuing 2 lost children within hours of each other on the same day. Cressida Neal was driving her route before dawn when she spotted a toddler walking down the sidewalk alone and barefoot earlier this month. Neal bringing the frightened boy onto the bus.
You okay? Give me a hug. My mother instincts just kicked in right away.
Then, just 6 hours later, driver Cecilia Nation Gardner spots a young girl wandering along the road in her pajamas, clutching a blanket. The girl soon reunited with her family, who were searching for her and arrived at the bus.
I'm not trying to be a hero. I'm just a driver that love her job.
That's all coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Will Reeve, ABC News, New York.
All right, today we have temperatures that are going to be climbing up into the 70s and hitting about 80 degrees. Canton Township about 81 this afternoon, and we're going to have a really comfortable day today with lower humidity than we've been used to so far this week. And we're in the 60s right now, and this is where we're going to be warming up to by around lunchtime today. Noon temperature about 73. We're pushing close to the mid 70s. Most of the afternoon will be in the 70s, up to about 80 degrees for a high today. And the wind is out of the northeast, only around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So really nice weather today. We'll see more clouds this morning than we will this afternoon. A mix of sun and clouds later on today. Again, highs near 80 this afternoon.
Time to take a look out at the morning drive. Right now, no issues here on westbound I-696 west of Gratiot. Actually, looking pretty good. We'll have another check in 7 minutes or less.
All right, time now is 5:25, and newly engaged Australian TV personality and animal conservationist Bindi Irwin will honor her late father at her wedding.
Bindi, of course, is the daughter of crocodile hunter Steve Irwin.
The 21-year-old and her fiance, Chandler Powell, will tie the knot at the Australia Zoo. That's where Irwin says she feels closest to her dad. Her younger brother will walk her down the aisle. The couple announced their engagement last week. They have not revealed, though, when they will say "I do." Steve Irwin died back in 2006 after being pierced in the heart by a stingray barb while filming an underwater documentary.
So happy for her, and I think it's great that her brother will walk her down the aisle.
Without a doubt, and you can see how her father's influence just shaped her whole life.
For sure. 5:25, within the next 30 minutes, we're going to update you on stories from Redford Township, Bloomfield Hills, and Detroit.
Plus, going inside the former home of Aretha Franklin, how much you'll have to shell out if you want to live like the Queen of Soul.
The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office is speaking out for the first time on their decision to charge a 10-year-old boy with aggravated assault. I'll tell you what he did to gain those charges and why his mother says this is just kids playing games. You're watching 7 Action News this morning.
Taking action for you. You're watching 7 Action News this morning.
2 hours on the debate stage means plenty of meat, plenty of information to sift through. So what is fact and what is fiction? We're going over it. We'll break it down for you coming up.
Plus, a 10-year-old boy facing assault charges after a ball game. What prosecutors say happened and why an attorney is demanding those charges be dropped.
And another alligator has been spotted in Michigan. Who found the reptile this time and how big that gator was?
Hey, when I go for a walk, I'm going to have to keep my head on a swivel. That's the second gator in, 2 weeks?
Walking down
Last one, he was hoisted over the guy's shoulders.
Yeah, that was a 6-footer.
That looks like a little smaller one, thankfully.
Florida around here, but the weather's not.
I know.
So there's that.
Now it's not, yeah.
Yes, now.
Whenever we had that first report of that first gator, that was like the most humid day that we had. And we're like, are we in Florida? Today the humidity is down and it feels more comfortable outside. Good. But what I want to show you first here, you may have saw just before the break, I was trying to update this graphic. So I wanted to get the forecast for Jimmy John's Field tonight at the United Shores Professional Baseball League. If you want to the ball game tonight, just after 7 o'clock, temperature is going to be around 77 degrees by 7 p.m., about 70 by 9 p.m. So this is our weather tonight, and it's going to feel great outside this evening. The humidity keeps dropping. Already this morning, you can tell the difference. The second you step outside, it's a more comfortable start to the day than it was yesterday. It's 65 degrees currently in Detroit, 63 in Ann Arbor, and also 63 degrees in Pontiac. We have some cloud cover this morning. We'll gradually see decreasing clouds later today. And it's not out of the question that we get a couple of sprinkles this morning, but nothing more than that's expected. Temperatures today going to be climbing through the 70s quickly, highs near 80 degrees, and again, a mix of sun and clouds. But a comfortable day today, and we'll see more of the sun through the rest of the week. We'll go through the 7-day forecast again in a few minutes.
All right, thanks a lot, Kevin. Good looking day. Let's take a look outside right now at one of our 7 first alert traffic cameras. This is I-96 east of Evergreen. Things are looking pretty good here. No issues to report in this area or on any of the other major roads. We'll keep an eye out for you and check back in 7 minutes or less.
Detroit, of course, is preparing for the spotlight for a second night in a row. But this morning, we are separating fact from fiction.
7 Action News reporter Matthew Smith rejoins us for our Democratic debate coverage. And this morning, he's teaming up with PolitiFact. Matt, 2 hours of statements, 2 hours of claims and plans. What do we find?
Well, really going to depend on which particular statement we're talking about. And let's just jump right into the health care debate. We know it is one of the biggest issues when it comes to Democratic voters, and this is going to be a big talker for everybody. It dominated last night's debate. So we'll jump right into John Delaney, who's pushing back against that Medicare for All plan touted by the two front runners that were in last night's debate.
I've been going around rural America, and I ask rural hospital administrators one question. If all your bills were paid at the Medicare rate last year, what would happen? And they all look at me and say, we would close. But the question is, why do we have to be so extreme?
PolitiFact rated that claim as false. Let's take a step back and say why. Well, Delaney has not gone to every hospital in the country. In fact, no researcher has ever done that. So there really is just a lack of evidence here. But going one step further, Medicare for All would pay a Medicare rate, meaning hospitals would be affected. He's right there. Some may even close their doors, but health experts say some would even see improving margins compared to what they're seeing now. So again, a false rating. Next, let's check in on dark money, that money that you don't know where it's coming from, but it fuels these campaigns. So Montana's governor making the debate stage for the first time last night. He wasn't in there for that first round, so he had to make a big splash, and he did so with this statement.
Washington, D.C. is captured by dark money, the Koch brothers, and others. That's been the fight of my career, kicking the Koch brothers out of Montana, taking the first case after Citizens United up to the Supreme Court, making it so that elections are about people.
This is more hyperbole than fact or fiction. Let's discuss a little closer. PolitiFact found that, yes, Governor Bullock has worked to kick out the Koch brothers by signing a bill to get rid of dark money in elections. That part is true, but it's not as if the Koch brothers just disappeared from the state. In fact, as PolitiFact notes, the Koch brothers even operate a cattle ranch in Beaverhead, Montana. Now, for our last debate check with PolitiFact, let's get back to the health care issue. We know that this is a big one, and one of the most outspoken on the issue last night was Elizabeth Warren.
You know, we have tried this experiment with the insurance companies, and what they've done is they've sucked billions of dollars out of our healthcare system, and they force people to have to fight to try to get the healthcare coverage that their doctors and nurses say that they need.
Now, this is an important fact check because a lot of her campaign is going to be hinging on this. She's come up with big plans. How does this grade out? PolitiFact says this is true. In fact, they even found a source of her numbers coming from the National Association of Insurance Commissioners. So while it is a big claim, it does in fact hold up. We're live in Detroit outside the Fox Theater as we prepare for night 2 of the Democratic debates. I'm Matthew Smith, 7 Action News.
All right, thank you, Matt. A lot to go over, 2 hours of statements. Thank you for doing all that hard work for us.
5:35 is the time now. Senator Debbie Stabenow is throwing her support behind a possible plan to launch an impeachment inquiry against President Trump.
The Democrat released a statement saying former special counsel Robert Mueller's report about Russian interference in the 2016 election, quote, describes extremely serious instances of the President of the United States trying to obstruct justice, end quote. At least 100 Democrats in the 435-member House are now in favor of opening an inquiry. However, analysts say that even if the Democratically controlled House votes to impeach the president, the Republican-run Senate would likely acquit the president. Among Michigan's 14 House members, 5 have come out backing an impeachment inquiry.
Well, right now, we do want to get you caught up on our other top stories of the day. A man from Detroit accused of beating a man from Berkeley to death following a car wreck is due in court today. Lawrence Davis was arrested on Tuesday at Bonneview Apartments on Detroit's northwest side. He'd been hiding out, police say, since the beating death of Tyler Wingate on July 22nd. Davis is set to be arraigned this morning on murder charges, and we plan to stream that arraignment live on WXYZ.com.
Westland police officers rushed to save a woman from a burning home, and the whole thing is caught on body camera. This happened Monday evening. The officers were already in the area when they got the call, and they arrived at that burning house before firefighters. A 79-year-old woman was pulled from the burning home and is now in the intensive care unit. Her 80-year-old husband was killed in the fire.
President Trump is reportedly working on a plan to allow Americans to import lower-priced prescription drugs from Canada. He originally called for the move during his election campaign 3 years ago, and more recently, he backed a Florida law allowing people in the state to gain access to medications from Canada.
And Kroger is now charging a fee for cash back at the checkout. For cashback options under $100, a 50-cent service fee will be applied. The fee for cashback options between $100 and $150 will be $1.50. The grocery chain says fees are rising due to bank fees and ATM fees rising, and other retailers limiting the amount of cashback available. You can eliminate 50 cents of the fee for cashback under $100 by using your Kroger Plus card.
Well, later today, the family of a 10-year-old boy charged with aggravated assault will be speaking out alongside their lawyer.
Yeah, that family says it's ridiculous the child is being charged after another one of his classmates was hurt playing a game after school.
7 Action News reporter Allie Hoxie is live to explain what we expect to hear from the child's family. But first, Allie, how exactly was the other boy hurt?
Well, this all happened at a game called Tips where a rubber ball is involved, and 10-year-old Bryce threw that ball, and now he's being charged with aggravated assault.
I couldn't believe it.
It all happened back in April at Erickson Elementary School in Canton. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office says 10-year-old Bryce threw the ball intentionally, causing a 9-year-old to suffer a concussion. Bryce's mother tells 7 Action News this was just a kid playing a game. She says her son was suspended for a day and feels the punishment should have ended there. The mother of the child who was injured also spoke to 7 Action News. She says her son has a medical condition making him more prone to injury.
My son was hit twice in the face with a ball previously due to this, and the child apologized to my son, and he said, "Mom, it's okay. We're still going to be friends."
These kids are basically playing a game that we all have played. Sorry that her child got hurt. I'd be sorry for any child that got hurt.
The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office sent 7 Action News the following statement. In many juvenile cases, we are able to craft solutions prior to charging any offense. After charging remedies can be anything from dismissal to providing needed services for the juvenile respondent to diversion programs and beyond. Today at 11 a.m., that mother alongside her lawyer are expected to speak to the media, but so far she's already released a statement saying these charges are ridiculous, racist, un-American, and unlawful. Allie Hoxie, 7 Action News.
Thank you, Allie, for that live update. 5:39 this morning, Redford Township is facing a lawsuit from a woman who says that she was sexually assaulted during a court-ordered work program. The lawsuit's been filed by Linda Sexton, and in it she names 2 supervisors of the program. One of them is Larry Dunn. Sexton claims that Dunn harassed her, made threats, and then sexually assaulted her.
He used his authority with the city of Redford to assault her and victimize her.
Because it's not easy to bring it to light, because I don't want it to see this happen to other girls, younger girls than me.
Sexton says that the work detail was part of her probation for a nonviolent offense 2 years ago. Court records show Larry Dunn has been charged in the case. He made a plea deal and is now serving 2 years probation. Redford Township is not commenting on the lawsuit.